Get the club to pop when I come up with the crop. Gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the club spot. Get the club to pop when I come up with the club spot. Get the club to pop when I come up with the club spot. Get the club to pop when I come up with the club spot. Get the club to pop when I come up with everybody. We do it. Everybody. We do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Club spot, get the club to pop when I come up with the club spot. Get the club to pop when I come up with the club spot. Get the club to pop when I come up with the club spot. Get the club to pop when I come up.
Trappers make the world go round. Yes, indeed. And you are now tapped in to the coolest reptile podcast in the fucking world. Yes, you are. OMG. It's your boy MJ up in the building. What is good, everybody? Another Thursday night. Feels like a Friday. Oh, it's Wednesday. It feels like a Friday. Holidays got me all mixed up and shit. But what's going on, everybody? How's everyone doing tonight? I bet everyone's stoked. I know I'm stoked. Got a lot of DMs from you guys. I know a lot of you guys are pumped up. So we're going to get right into it as soon as we can. You guys know what the deal is. Shout out to the sponsor, Cold Blooded Cafe. www.coldbloodedcafe.com. Freshest and bestest delivered to your doorstep. $30 flat rate shipping. Eggs inside of a sim container is where you want to go. 100% hatch rate. Sim boxes, baby. www.simcontainer.com. That's where it's at. You want an investment, legit investment? Go to the Orange Dream God, bro. Aussie Boyds, LLC, the real deal Holyfield. You cannot go wrong when you go through Aussie. It's facts. It's facts. Ask any of the big homies to do it. Enclosures, Focus Cube Habitats. Hell yeah, I got it right. Focus Cube Habitats, the future of arboreal enclosures. All PVC made, based out of Texas. Check them out. Steven and Ashley, check them out. They're super sick. Shout out to Freedom Breeder, man. Man, Freedom Breeder is legit when it comes to the stainless steel racks made in the United States. You don't lose value on that. That's where you go. Guys, check it out, man. I don't do this enough, and it's probably my fault, but I appreciate all you. I mean, we're going to say what up to the early birds right now. Appreciate all my early birds. But before we move forward, your boy's trying to reach 10K followers before the end of the year. I know. I mean, I'm 600 away or something. Instagram keeps taking away fucking followers, but I can't complain. So let's go follow me. If you have not followed me yet, go ahead and follow me. If I get to 10,000 today, by tonight, I'm doing an all paid trip to the Hoover Dam with Lori Barczyk. Okay, if we could get to 10K, I'm paying for it. I don't know if Lori's available, but we'll talk to her in a minute. But the Hoover Dam is something you don't want to miss, and Lori loves the Hoover Dam, which we'll get into in just a second as well. But please, go follow me, mjexoticscartal, with an A, not an E, okay? And then go fuck with the page too, man, the YouTube page over on Instagram, Trap Talk with MJ podcast. That's where I put, cool Trap Talk clips and whatnot. Definitely a page not to sleep on, man. But is that it? Oh, yeah, early birds. Let me see what's with the early birds. All right, guys, there's a lot of you in here, so I'm going to brush through these as quick as I can. Mac Lorenzo, the homie Mac Lorenzo up in the building. What's up, Mac? Let's see. Rainy Days, Reptiles. What's up, Rainy Days? Bryson Johnson. I know there was a bunch of you earlier, but it's not letting me scroll up. Mindy, what's up, Mindy? Thanks for tuning in. I think we got a new guy here. Bryson, what's up, Bryson? And the homie Josh, the OG, triple OG. What's up, Josh? All right, there's a lot of you guys, man. All right, I'm glad you guys are tuned in tonight because tonight is a very special episode. Shit, before we do that, I can't be a dick. All right, hold on. I got some stuff in the mail. All right, I do want to just see who sent me something real quick. Oh, I'm just kidding. I shouldn't probably do that. That's not funny. All right, so I got a shirt. Let's see who the shirt's from. All right, let's see. Oh, what? Good quality? This one, I'm messing with this. Here we go. Shout out to High Desert Pythons. All right. The homie over at High Desert Pythons. Check this dude out. He has some killer projects lined up. He actually has a little podcast going on as well, too. He does lives every now and then, and I think he has Reggie on this Saturday. So make sure you go check him out. The homie over at High Desert Pythons. And then I got something else in the mail here, too. Oh, wow. It's a hat. Oh, I love hats. You guys know I fuck with hats. Damn. Is this the way? Hold on. I want to make sure I get the name right. Banana Bread Banana Bread Royals. All right, check it out. The homie Banana Bread Royals sent me a hat. This thing is super fresh. I'm probably gonna have to wear it right now. I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna wear it right now. I wear it backwards. Hope you don't mind, but I like it. You guys got to go check him out. I'll put his Instagram account in the description below. Put this hat on real quick. Banana Bread Royals. All right, bro. Thanks for the hat. Appreciate it. I'm about to rock it. All right, enough is enough. So tonight's guest, Lori fucking Barczyk. Can you believe it? I am so excited. I mean, not only did I get to hang out and meet Lori twice this year so far, and I'm talking about hang out. Like I went to Vegas, got to hang out with Noah and Brian and Jay, a bunch of the family, and you know, we did stuff and then like hung out, and then I got to see her at the Repterium. I mean, I'm just super stoked. So this is actually somebody who I'm not gonna say I know really well, but I've actually got to hang out with her. She's amazing. And you know what I'm saying? Like, we all know how much everyone loves Brian. I love Brian. Brian's probably one of the greatest guys I've ever met, but behind every great and strong man is a great and stronger woman. And that's Lori Barczyk.
No,
like that intro?
nice. Yeah. That was a good intro. Yeah.
I rehearsed that. I rehearsed that for like 2 days. I know.
It was pretty, yeah.
Hi, Lori.
Hi. Yeah,
Very-
I'm super bummed because watching your intro, had I been up on this, I would have totally sent you a Repterium shirt that you could have opened prior, and you could have been repping that and or a hat. So my bad. Sorry.
No, it's actually not. It's my bad because hello, who's in charge of the gift shop center? Lori. And what's the number one income for the Repterium right now? The gift shop, Lori. You know what I mean? So I know you're busy doing things. I actually did bug Brian. I did bug Brian for a hoodie, like my first visit, and he just shined me off and kept saying
you're bad because you have who to ask, because if you want to get it, you need to talk to Lori.
All right. Well, touche. There we go. Now that's noted. But Lori, I want to know how everything's doing. How's your holidays? I mean, I know your Christmas is your favorite holiday, or I mean, you just like getting decked out for it. How important Christmas is to you?
I mean, I think it's probably up there, and definitely, probably if not my favorite, one of the favorites for sure.
Because I mean, let's be honest. How long did it take you to do your tree?
Which one?
The big one, the one that's okay. First off, how big is that tree?
It's 16 foot.
Wow.
It literally is this far from touching the ceiling, like at the top of our. It's Brian said, when I picked it out, I knew it was big. I was like, yeah, you know what, we should do this. And he's like, that's not going to fit. I'm like, I think it'll fit. And he's like, it's not going to fit. And when we wedged it up, it's literally, it was almost the Clark Griswold, but it's just.
Oh, don't say that, dude. You don't want to treat like that guy. That's neat. Okay, the reason why I asked is because every year since I've been following you guys, or I think since the time Miguel went over and hung out with you guys, I remember the first thing I saw was the monster tree. I was like, man, that thing is huge, but that's the tradition at the house, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, we started it, years ago when we had this house and had the area where we could do it. We decided that was the first time we got a real tree and decided to get a big one. Last year was a disappointment because we went to go get it. For some reason, they didn't have big trees. And so I think that was part of it this year when I was looking and I saw, I was like, I want the biggest one.
That's what I said.
This was my thought is, you can always cut it down, right? So.
What a pain in the ass. I'll tell you what, that's okay. So that's what I did this year. Cause I measured my ground to the floor of the ceiling, and it was like It was literally like 8 feet. Like it was 8 feet. So what did I do? I got an 8-foot tree. You know, they said it was 8 feet.
Yeah,
I did the
'cause you had
measurement.
8 feet, right.
Yeah, but I did the measurement and it was like eight. The tree's actually 8 inches, like 8 feet 4 inches. So like, you know what I mean? So I was like, I'm sitting in the back and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this is the stupidest thing ever. Why did I want 8 feet? But we made it work. We fucking
No,
got,
you make it through, and that's
yeah.
Brian's job to saw off whatever you need to make it fit. That's the guy's job. So,
Brian, get the saw, Brian. Get the saw.
he did.
Give
He
me
was
no-
out there. That was funny, and I don't think that part made it on the vlog either. But just talk to Jay about it because we were laughing. He couldn't find we couldn't find any saw, and I think the way the way he cut the end off was literally with a hatchet
Oh,
and a
God.
hammer.
It was all butchered.
Yeah, and a lot of cuss words. So I
Oh,
know. Oh, Brian never swears. Believe me. When
right.
shit gets real, he does.
I think the first thing I heard Brian say out of his mouth was a swear word, but he was making a joke, and it was so funny. I was like, "Wow!" I was like, "This is awesome." He's hilarious. Okay,
Yeah, it is funny.
let's talk about the first time we met because I always tell this story to other people, but I want to share it with you because I know you. Hopefully, you don't remember, but you were just in the zone. So,
All
COVID,
right.
COVID hit March. It was
Yeah,
supposed to be Tinley, right?
our grand opening. Yep.
Yep. So Miguel's like, "Hey, come over. We're gonna hang out with Brian and Lori, and we're gonna hang out at the Repterium." And I'm like, "All right." So Miguel flew me over there, and we show up, right? And then and we were all stressed out. I don't know if you remember, Miguel was super stressed out because
Oh,
he
yeah.
thought he wanted to get a flight right then and there. Like we were supposed to hang out for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm flying out, and I had just gotten there, so I'm like, what do I do? Like, what do you? And I haven't even met you guys yet. I only know Miguel, right? And he already wants to leave, and I'm like stressed out too. So, we get to BHB, and he's like, let's get beer. We got to get beer. I'm like, all right, that sounds good. Let's get beer. So we get a 6-pack, and he's like, here, hold it. So I'm like, all right, I'm holding it. And then we walk in and like we say hi for like 5 seconds and then boom, like you like burst through the door, like through, from the BHB, and you're looking around, you're like, oh, hey, like you look at Miguel and it was like, or like, it wasn't really like, oh, hey, what's up? It was like, oh, hey, like,
Hey.
what do you want? You know what I mean? And so I was like taking deep breaths because Lori, I'm not gonna lie, like I was kind of like, a little starstruck. You and Brian are very important to my, to my hobby career and like what started, that, all that stuff. So I just didn't really know how to, I was just kind of holding back a little bit, but all I knew is I had these beers in my hand. And after I saw that, I was just like, man, I need a beer. So I took a beer and I opened it, and Miguel looked at me and goes, no, don't open that here. I'm like, bro, why did we get beer? I was like, I put it down on the table and I pushed it towards Miguel and I go, I have nothing to do with that. I was like, that's you, dude. That's you. And then after that, you started busting jokes and like, and then I met you, and then God, it was just everything was what a roller coaster, dude. That whole thing was a roller coaster, dude. I'll never forget.
That was a crazy weekend to have met because obviously, like I said, with our grand opening, with our expansion, with the COVID, and it was just there was a lot of intense stuff going on, and so yeah, but I think it was still a great and awesome weekend.
It was.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun, and it was great to meet you. And you know what, I do remember that because that was definitely the first time I had met you. And you know what, it's funny. So all right, I'll just gonna be honest because that's how I am.
The show is super honest. The show, trust me, I'm more honest than I need to be sometimes, but that's why I do my own thing. But go ahead.
So you know what, whatever. I'm just a kind of person to where like I obviously when I meet people, I can size them up and I can usually tell right away, what's going on, whether they're legit, whether something shady's going on or this or that. And I always got a really good vibe from you. Like I said, I can't explain why, because like I said, I didn't really know you, but right from the start, I'm like, I like this guy. Like he's legit. He's honest. You're a goofball, but you're but you're funny, but like, yeah, you're just real, and I appreciate that.
And
So
That's why I
And
appreciate
that's,
you so much, Lori. Like that's why like real recognize real is a real thing. Like there's a saying, real
yeah,
recognize real. And when two
yeah,
people recognize and they're the same kind of real, it's
yeah,
like, dude, there's no filter. You're just really like, oh man,
yeah.
it's so great. Because it's like, dude, who the fuck? She ain't gonna
And
judge
I
me. I'm not gonna judge
appreciate
her.
that because
Yeah,
a lot of times, obviously, like, and whatever, like, obviously Bryant, has a podcast, and him and I have been doing this for a long time, but the reality is, most people, just it's all about Bryant, and that's fine by me because I don't want to be, a celebrity. I don't want to be something that, somebody that people, think something of. I'm just me, and I'm fine being that. So it's not like, when people meet us and it's like whatever, like, it's kind of like, okay, whatever, but
right.
you know like I said, you were, I felt you were real and genuine, and it wasn't just that. And the more that I've got to know you, it's clearly, like I said, I like that, and I appreciate about you that, you know you're
I'm
you're you, and that's awesome.
I'm blessed. I'm blessed that God gave me a gift, and that's like I can't be fake. Like I can't fake
Yeah.
emotions. Like I'm an
Well,
emotional
yeah,
person.
yeah. Guess what, neither can I.
Yeah, but
This
I'm gonna
face.
tell you how it is. Yeah, dude. And and sometimes, Lori, I'm at the stage where if I feel like my emotions weren't correct, like this is me just acting out of
Yeah.
line, and because I'm not perfect, I do act out of line. I'm able to address it and correct it right away.
Hmm.
But when I don't feel like I need to address and correct it, I trust that feeling.
Yeah.
I trust like, okay, that's a legit feeling right then and there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because oh, man, which we'll get into right now, right? So I commend Brian, and well, first I commend Miguel because when I met Miguel when he was getting a lot of hate for showing off his cars and like, oh, this fucking guy just comes in with money. He's gonna like he's like not gonna make it type of thing, right? And then I was like, I was talking to him a bit. He's like, dude, he's like, you should see what fucking Brian had to go through. And then I didn't know that Brian had to go through what the fuck he had to go through with all these, these bullshit accusations and whatnot. But anyways, this is when I really realized how fucked up Facebook was because every everything was a meme about him, but like nothing was like I didn't see no pictures of actual facts or anything, but it was just so toxic. It was so bad. And then I realized it had a huge effect on Brian. I thought Brian was like fucking stone and big guy, don't give a fuck. But no, dude, it really fucked him up. I could tell
Yeah.
for him, right? And then what did that do to you, really? I mean, because having to see Brian being like the guy who loves what he does, and then all of a sudden he has to worry
Well,
about this.
yeah, no, it's hard because, honestly, I am more of the person, like you said, like, you know what? I don't give a shit. You know what? People can say, people can think, people can do. The truth of the matter is, I don't give a shit. I
Right,
know who I am. I know what I am. And if you think otherwise, you know, honestly, I mean, I don't know how your podcast is, but go fuck yourself because
right.
that's what I say to it. So, but unfortunately or fortunately, like, it's really funny is, we're very opposite. And I feel like, honestly, that's probably good for relationships, to have two opposite ends, because I think two people the same way probably isn't going to go very well. If you had two very sensitive people or whatever, but you know what I mean? So it's great that he is the way he is, but no, he felt that stuff very deeply,
Yeah,
and that hurt him a lot. And it was hard for me because, as myself, like, I'm trying to say, why are you letting that do that to you? Who gives a shit, what these people say or this or that? But the truth is, he did, and it did, hurt him and affect him. The good thing is that he has learned to not let it. It was a hard road for him. And um, he still probably, a little bit maybe cares, but doesn't let it affect him, because, you can't always, can't change 100% who you are or how you are.
no, it's
Um,
too much
but
work.
but no, but then it's hard too because, then you got, like I said, like, I'm mad, that it's happening, but then I'm more mad because it's happening to my family and people I care about and affecting that way. So then, obviously me,
Yeah.
I'm just like, fuck the world. This is my thing. Is because that's the truth of the matter of is, right? Like, luckily, we just, we were pulling away from the community and all of that stuff. Because the truth of the matter is, this is the thing, keyboard warriors will say anything,
Oh,
on a
yeah.
screen or whatever. But let me tell you, ain't not one of those motherfuckers at a show or anywhere else gonna come
No,
up and say something to your
I've
face.
seen it.
Because
I've
you know
seen it.
what? Let me tell you something. I wish, and I'd say that all the time. Come up to my face. Come up to my face and
Right.
say something, because then, honestly, I'd respect you more because you'd have the balls to do that. And then we could have something else. But nobody does and nobody will, right? Because the truth is, just like you said, it's all based on, lies and all this other stuff that, you know, is easy to hide behind. If you
Right.
had something substantial, then you can go to somebody's face and legitimately say something, right? So,
Right. Yeah. Huge facts, man. Huge facts. And but the thing is, Lori, this is what's kind of like this is a hard pill for me to swallow too, is like, whoever the keyboard warrior is obviously like irrelevant, super irrelevant, right? Actually, any hater could be irrelevant, but when it's somebody close to you, like that's the
mhm.
thing, right? Or even like not even close to you as a friend, but as an acquaintance. Like for instance, like I can't stomach someone even attacking my show if it's somebody who has their own show and has been well established and been doing their own thing. And I know like certain people are so easy to fucking pick on someone who's not as big as them or talk, and that's why I feel a lot of people just fold down and not say shit. And I refuse to do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, especially if it's happening while I'm on a podcast and it just blatantly comes in a comment type of thing. Like, it's hard for me really, Lori, to just swallow that pill and just move forward because the where it's coming, the source it's coming from, I guess. So, and the reason why I'm bringing that up is Brian had some fucking close people that did that to him, like some wrong motherfuckers, from what I understand.
Yeah, and honestly, what it is it it just, much like I said, it proves who you are, right, as a person. And if you're that person, then you never truly were a friend, because if you really truly are someone's friend, you just don't do that, you know. And if you have to choose between what you think is best for yourself or standing up for a friend who the truth, but oh, if I stand up for them, then I'm going to bad, or I might LinkedIn or whatever. Like I said, it just, and whatever, you know what, you be you, and that's fine. And the truth of the matter is, it just shakes down. It tells you, okay, there's real friends and real people, and there's fake ass people that are just going to do whatever's best for them, and I'm sad that's the truth, but that's what it is,
What's what's beautiful now is like, the way I meet Brian is he has a unit. Like it's just a straight unit. It's like you, Noah, the whole Repterium squad, and then Brian. Like you guys are just that's an everyday thing, is that's your surrounding, and like that's what it should be. Less is more. I've always had a less is more mentality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I
Mhm.
don't trust somebody who's friends with everybody. It's
Yeah.
hard for me to, because there's impossible to like everybody. Like if you're a real human being and you really have feelings, there's so many fucked up people and conniving people out there to where if you're really keeping it real, you're not gonna like, I'm just saying you don't need to go out your way to say you don't like them, but you could just keep your
Right.
fucking keep that mental note, right?
Oh,
Um,
100%. That's,
right,
yep, 100%. But I think it's funny because I think different people are wired different. Uh, Clearly, it sounds like kind of you and I are of the same mindset with that, because that's exactly how I am. But again, like, it's funny because, we had a different, situation that just happened within a week or so ago. And it was funny because same thing, like, I think, and it's not it's not a bad thing. It's a good quality that you trust people and that you want to think the best in people. And like, Brian is like that. And that's not a bad thing. He genuinely, wants and thinks the best of everybody he meets. Me, Every person I meet, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm sizing you up right from the start, and honestly, like,
Dude,
you gotta prove it wrong. Like, I'm already coming, like, I'm looking like, all right, what's the angle, what's the whatever, until I see different. So him and I are two different things, which probably the best is to maybe be in the middle, but like, you know what I mean? That's the way life is. And like I said, I think it for him and I, it works well with that because it's probably would be better for me to be more like that. Will I? Probably not. But
I think it's that thing that I started hating it because everyone, I mean, all throughout my 20s, people were like telling me about balance, and I was like, "Fuck off, balance!" But that's what it's all about. Dude. It sucks,
it
but
is. It is.
nothing
But I think it depends. It depends on you as a person. It depends on where you come from. It depends on, how you're raised and you know what I mean? And stuff like that. And I think that's the difference too. Like, again, him and I had totally different, upbringings and lifestyles. And that's just how I've always been, because where I was at and what I was raised, seriously, like if you weren't like that, then you're an idiot and bad shit's gonna happen, like,
You're,
so
you're a sucker. You're-
yeah, yeah, so that's just a quality. I mean, I don't think it's a bad quality. I like that quality. I think honestly, like night oops, sorry,
Phoebe, Phoebe?
that's Zeus.
Oh, Zeus, fucking
Yeah,
Zeus.
I
He's
may
scary.
or may not be getting to Amazon. I still got a couple Christmas presents that haven't arrived yet, so
Yeah, they drop off this late.
They can do, yeah. They can do late right now. I'm lucky if I'm getting them right now. So,
Yeah, for reals. That's good.
oh,
But yeah, well, what was the last thing you were saying before Amazon?
oh, um,
Oh, I didn't take my pills. That's why. Hold on. My Alpha Brain. I take Alpha Brain.
ah,
I don't forget
ah.
anything. I'm telling you.
Did you start taking that because of Noah, or is it just
Oh
random?
no.
Because Noah,
Reverse,
oh,
reverse.
okay, Noah
Yeah,
got it from you.
yeah. And you gotta give me clout on that. That's true. I took these to when I did the podcast over with Noah.
Hmm.
I had these, but I was pissed because I was gonna bring some for everybody,
Yep.
and I didn't bring the bottle. I only had like a couple, so I remember that's when I brought it up. And yeah, these are especially for stoners like us. You know what I mean? Like we're getting high while we're talking. So I don't know. I don't care how good your tolerance is. Sometimes if you forget about what you're about to talk after the person's done talking, you forget, and it's like
Oh yeah,
shit. So
no, for sure. Oh, so those help with that, huh?
yeah, anything to make the stoner go further. Woo.
Nice.
Okay, I'm sorry. Before Zeus was saying what's up, what happened? What were you saying?
Uh, yeah, my brain, my memory's bad.
Don't worry about
About cycle up and yeah.
it. Well, okay. Now I want to talk about pre Noah, kids. I'm talking because you and Brian been together since teenagers, right?
Yeah, we met on my 18th birthday. Yep.
Oh, okay, 18th birthday. So, wow. And then you guys were already out of high school, or were you guys still in high school?
I had just graduated. Yep.
Okay, cool. And what was it? What was the impression like with Brian? I have to know. Like, you meet Brian at 18 years old. What was he like? Like, what was it?
Oh, well, I don't know. We've shared the story, so you've never met the story of the night we met.
I
You've
know.
never heard that.
I think I might. It's been a while, so I think he did say it the very first podcast that he was on with me before. But I want to hear your version, if you're okay.
No. So yeah, I mean, 18. I'm just about having a good time. So we're just at a mutual party. Never met him. He was
Right.
there with a friend of mine from high school,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I don't know. I I don't remember meeting him. I'll put it that way. I went there. I was drinking a lot, and
Wow.
apparently I met him. I apparently made an awesome impression because he went home and told his mom he met the girl he's going to marry. So there's that.
And you don't remember anything.
No, Not at all. So my girlfriend that was friends with him calls me and is like, "Oh yeah, yeah, so our friend met you, blah blah blah. He really, he wants to go out with you, this and that." I'm like, "Who?" And she's explaining, and I'm like, "What did he look like?" And she's like, "He's got, blonde hair, like long hair." And I'm like, "How long?" She's like long hair, like down to his ass. I'm like, "What?"
Are you sure? Are you like I dude, and Brian, you
And so, long story short, yeah. So we end up going on a double date afterwards with my friend and her boyfriend, who I knew, and him. And yeah, no, no, I don't remember meeting him the first time. I
oh
remember the
my
second
god. Poor Brian. I mean, I'm glad it worked out, but poor Brian, he probably ran home because who knows what you told him all drunk and smashed. You're probably like, oh yeah, let's get married. And he's like,
time. No, I'm pretty sure that's not what I said.
but you know,
Because
how do
that's
you know?
not me either.
You don't remember anything.
I don't, but that's not who I was or what I was. I think, you know what? I'm a fun person.
Dude, live it up. Fuck it. 18 too. Jesus. Yeah, I at 18, that's when I was going to parties in Tijuana. Like it's 18 and up down there to clubs. So man, I mean, that's you're young and reckless. That's why they say young and reckless. You're just doing it up, but
Yeah.
it's cool that you met Brian at 18. Now, that's a young age. I mean, you guys like, what was it that made you just want to, decide, okay, I guess I'll marry you, you know what I mean? Because he wanted to in the beginning. So but when did you right we're like, all right, I think I'll marry this guy? Like when did that happen?
Well, I think it's one of those things, right? Um, I had dated a few guys that, weren't the greatest, didn't treat me very good. And he, obviously he's Brian. He's genuinely a good guy.
Right.
And then we talked about values and family, and we both, had similar interest of what we wanted as far as, like, family and stuff like that.
Right.
And I think that, and it grew from there. You know what I mean? I think that was the basis of it, is that. So
That's cool. And
yeah.
then what age did you have? I'm sorry, I met your daughter, but I forgot her name. What's your
Yep,
daughter's
Jade.
Jane? Okay. When was she born?
So 2 years later, so
Okay.
20. Yeah.
2 years. Okay.
Hmm.
And then when did the golden child come? Noah. When did Noah?
He was 8 years after her. So
8 years.
yes,
Yeah. He's
yes,
2001, right? 2000 or what? No, he's
99,
99. Okay. Oh, so he's
99.
right before the
Yep,
millennium.
exactly.
Oh man, honestly, what a great kid, Noah, man. Like I've spent a lot of time with him. I got to go eat pizza with him after the podcast and just really talk to him. He's such a neat kid, dude. Like he's like I hate to call him kid, but to me he's just still so young. You know what I mean? But he's so interesting. He's so funny.
Hmm.
He just
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, we're super blessed because honestly, both our kids, and I know every parent says that, but the reality is we are super lucky. We've ended up with two really awesome kids. I mean, Jade's just like me, so there's that. Of course she's awesome, but and yeah, like I know, and not to say like, obviously there's always issues, and there's
yeah.
rough times, and better times, and thank God we made them through all of them. But no, we're super lucky and blessed with our kids.
Yeah, I was when I had Noah on the podcast, when it was just me and him, I didn't know he went through such a rough patch at such a young age, you know what I mean? And I know that's difficult. I mean, like I already know it's difficult for like I feel like as you're an adult, you could, hopefully be around people to snap you out of it. But when you get into it at such a young age like that, it's so scary. Like
Yeah.
that's when it's like it's pretty much no going back. Like once you're there at that age, because I've seen it myself. I've had close friends of mine have like relatives who are like, I've just seen it, and just for him to get through that because he decided like I want to actually do YouTube and know that he was meant for something. Kid just opened wide up, man, and look at all the energy he puts into it. And I know you had such a big part of that, Lori, like because he told me in the podcast. So I mean, it's a beautiful thing. God's good. That's all I got to say.
No, for sure, and that's the thing, right? Because everybody has their own story, and honestly, me and my story, like I had rough times in my childhood too. I came from a divorced parents, and then my mom remarried, and he was an alcoholic, and there was some really bad shit that went down.
Yeah.
So, like, I had, some pretty dark times too, during those teenage years. And same thing. It could have went one way or the other. And thank God that it swung the way it did, you
Yeah.
know, and that same thing, I was able to get out of it and get my shit together because, that's the thing, right? Whenever you're in there, it can go one way or the other.
Yeah.
And, you know, and that's it too. And I think that helped too with knowing that, and being able to be there for him,
Yeah.
understanding from that level too, of you know that it's hard when you're going through that shit. And you know and that's the thing, I will always be there for my family. I
Beautiful.
won't make excuses, and I won't put up and be like, oh, pretend like shit's not there. But when push comes to shove, like, I'll be there to pull your ass up and to help you get your shit together. You know what I mean? Because that's what families are supposed to do. You know.
Yep. I mean, my mama, dude, she anytime there was a couple points in my late 20s and early 30s where I fucking hit the roughest patches I've ever hit. And I've literally that's why I'm like, it's all like, friends I thought I had were just fucking really party friends, because when shit really hit the fan and I needed things, I had nobody. All of a sudden everything changed, everything switched on me, and all I had was my mom, dude. And my mom, she took me in, didn't judge me, and got me on my feet after a few weeks. But like, still, like, like anyone else on my dad's side, it's a whole different story. Like, they act like everyone's perfect, but everyone goes through their own shit. But
Yeah.
I couldn't count on any of them. So my mom was like, my mom's my mom, dude, and I'm forever as a mama's boy. Love you, mom.
Listen, that's our job, and that's what we're supposed to be.
Right.
We're supposed to be there for you, thick and thin.
Now I heard through the grapevine that you weren't always a snake fan from the beginning. Like, you didn't always love snakes. Is that true?
No, not at all. Are you kidding me? No, I grew up in the city in Detroit. There's no snakes. Like, I never even seen, or around them prior to meeting Brian. I was terrified, so yeah, that was exactly. So number one, I meet him. Okay, long hair guy, rocker guy, like, okay. And then it's like, oh, Cody goes, oh, I got a bunch of snakes. I'm like, what the heck is
Yeah.
So when we first met, like, I literally wouldn't even go into his reptile room. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'll stay outside. And then slowly would go in and then maybe touch something. Right. Yeah, we're good. And then he's funny too, because after a little bit, he's like, if you help me clean this cage, we can go out quicker. Pulled that line, yeah. So, and it's funny because honestly, I so yeah, no, I was not interested. I was terrified, you know, and coming from that aspect, and then slowly, learning and the knowledge, that's basically what it is, right? The more knowledge you have, the less fear you have, because obviously when you have the knowledge, you realize there's nothing to fear. And that's the fact that I love with the Repterium. We get people all the time. Like, case in point, today, I have a cousin who came, who lives in Florida, and she brought, her kids and then a couple nephews from her husband's side. And the kids were just like, I'm good. Like, I don't want to touch anything. I'm terrified, this and that. I'm like, that's fine. That's fine. They're like, yeah, yeah, no, no, no. And I'm like, listen, that's fine. I give them the old spiel, like, just always, like, listen, we don't bring out anything that will hurt you. Anything that we bring out is 100% safe. Just, I'm telling you right now, if it isn't, we won't. Just so you know, if it's out, it's okay. And so we bring some stuff out. Others were holding, and they were like, no, no, no. And then all of a sudden, after a few, like they're curious and, well,
Yep.
I'll touch, and then literally, like, I said it to him too. I was like, I'm not going to lie. I said, the guys like you, I said, normally by the end are the ones that are holding everything. I said, but it's fine. Like, you don't have to. We will never push it. And I swear to God, same thing. Like, he was holding everything, taking pictures by the end. And I was like, and that's what I love about it, right? Because that's how it's. And he said, he goes, well, I was always under the impression, I was told, like, every snake will bite you, and you got to be whatever. And I said, no, I get it. Like, believe me, there's so much misinformation, and that's basically what all fear is based on when it comes to that. And so, like I said, I love it, and I tell people all the time, listen, I understand. I was terrified just like you. So it's just a matter of whatever. So
Yeah, it's just that mental thing. You know what I mean? It's because like you're
for
brought up.
sure.
It's like there's countries that like kill snakes when they see it, no matter what. Like it's like
Yeah.
they kill it, they kill it, they
Yeah.
kill it, and it's fucked up.
Mhm.
There's like really nice snakes out there. So, but that's just their religion. That's their belief. That's what people are brought up to think. Like it's like kind of how racist people are. Like
Yep,
racist people.
exactly.
You're brought up
It's all based on ignorance, right?
ignorant.
Because, that's
Yeah.
just what you're told and whatever.
Mhm.
So no, like that's what's so funny is because, all of my knowledge about reptiles and stuff like that, which funny enough is pretty damn extensive when you figure it's probably close to 30 years worth now. Has nothing to do with my interest. It's my immersion in it.
Right.
It's just by being involved. You know what I mean? Like you could have never told me, back in the day that this A would be my life, and B I would know so much
Yeah.
about reptiles.
Like
I would have never believed it.
I hold on to this all the damn time because I'll never forget it. But like, what,
Easy.
going on 4 years ago,
Mhm.
I was like, that's when I was at the fork in the road. Like, do I keep fucking partying and selling drugs and try to become a world known DJ, which was just fucking garbage, technically what I'm trying to do, or do I break up with the chick I'm with, say fuck all my friends, stop selling drugs, just find, actually work a job. Like I always had a job, but that was like fucking whatever money. Like I actually,
Right.
sold drugs. So I was in that fork in my road, and what really got me through the fucking fork to go right instead of left was your Brian Barczyk videos, because I bought a ball python off Craigslist. I had a ball python since I was a kid, and I just wanted my life was so shit that I felt like I wasn't close to my family. I just felt like I was distant, and I was like, I want to feel like a kid again, like I have no love in me. So I thought about something. I thought about a ball python. I was like, I need to get a snake again. I need something just to look at in my room and just fucking, like just feel better.
Yeah.
So I went on Craigslist. And I found a ball python, and I was like, why is it yellow? Like, this isn't what is this? And then, the guy told me, he's like, yeah, this is a morph. And I was like, what the fuck? So I typed in ball python morph on Google. Sure enough, what popped up? All Brian's videos, and he had the fucking epic goddamn fucking thumbnail clickbait shit. And I was like, oh my God, like this guy's insane. This guy's insane. So literally, I remember discovering Brian's show was what made me cancel my last DJ gig and go into some crazy ass fucking like Mexico excursion with friends and I broke up with the girl I was with at the time, and literally just vegged out and just went ballistic, dude. Went ballistic. And then if anyone at that time, even if after getting 2 snakes, if anyone at that time would have said, hey man, in about 3 years or 4 years from now, you're going to have 150 plus snakes. You're going to be really cool with Brian Barczyk and Lori Barczyk, and you're gonna have a podcast where you talk about this stuff all the time, because people say, oh, thanks for doing this. I appreciate the thanks, but this is fucking, I thank myself for doing this. This is fun. Like, this ain't shit to me. Like, look who I get to conversate with. And as much as I had a good time, with you in Vegas and Michigan, the reason why I was so excited is because I get to kind of relive more of those moments just talking to you here. So, dude, this life is a trip.
Yeah.
Life is a fucking trip, and it's all how you just got to grip it and write it, dude. And people seem to just, hey, I'm going to hold back and not put myself out there so much because they want shit to come to them. Well, who doesn't? Who doesn't want shit to come to them? But it's not going to happen that way. You know what I mean? And the thing is, people are too reserved. I feel like they're too fucking scared to make themselves look stupid They're too scared to, oh, this guy's going to probably unfollow me if I, show him this or that. People just need to stop giving a fuck. Like when you stop giving a fuck, you sleep better, you think better, you get more creative. Just stop. Like, Lori, I know you don't give a fuck. I know you don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Like and I don't mean I don't give a fuck about people in general. I'm just saying, like, you don't care what anyone thinks of you, period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you lose this much sleep over somebody's thoughts. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's the mentality, and that's why you're probably I mean, look, Brian's the face, he's the fucking he is like the camera's rolling, it's Brian, but behind the scenes, holding down the fort, operations, the gift shop, all this shit that's cracking off, you're in charge of.
Yeah, I'm the gift shop crew.
You're so
You're looking for some merch? That's me.
I can put the link, by the way. I'll put the link to the merch because we want to get those numbers up before the end of the year.
Oh shit. No, and that's what's funny, right? But again, like I think like we were talking about kind of a yin and a yang, right? Like, that it doesn't. And it's funny because while we both have, say, the same work ethic when it comes to anything, and that's why we have done all of the stuff that we've done in our life, is because we both are very hard workers and dedicated and willing to do whatever it takes for whatever we want to do. These were his aspirations as far as, being in front of people and doing that stuff. Me, not at all. Like, no. Like, I prefer the opposite. Like, we just had this conversation. Like, there's nothing worse when I'm out somewhere and someone's like, "Oh my God, you're Lori."
No. I mean,
yeah.
Well, I can imagine if you had to ice, because you fucking got, oh my God, by the way, Lori will fucking put anyone away in a fucking ice cream cookie fucking competition or whatever. Dude, did you eat all of it? I'm confused because that was a lot.
I did. Hell yeah, I did.
It gave me heartburn just looking at it. Like
oh my God. That's like good dreams are made of that, like
it's
big ice cream cookie. That's some good shit.
It's worth the pain, dude.
Oh yeah.
You waking up in the middle of the night is so worth it. Just remember telling yourself that when you wake up. Like,
I don't wake up in the middle of the night.
That'd be me.
My body's like, hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. Now you're living. Finally. Oh shit. Yeah. I mean, dude, the food is such a comfort. It's such a happy thing, and it could really just, no matter what's going on in your life, food could really put you to another level. And that's why me and my wife are so close, because Lily, like, she'll grind Monday through fucking Friday. Like, I'll literally eat on my own because she won't eat any of the stuff I eat. She's fucking just, makes her own shit. And then she's late come Friday. She don't want to do that. She gets a little lazy, which I'm like, hey, I go, do you want to go here? And it's either In-N-Out Burger or and she lights up like a fucking Christmas tree. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, but see, that makes sense because she looks really good, because that's what it is. It's balance, right? You got to stay to the game, Monday through Friday. Then you got your cheat meals. Then you got to get right back to it.
Yeah, I just because like Lily's down for like a day, but sometimes I'll abuse it and I'll stretch it to Sunday, and I'm like, she'd be looking like, dude, we've eaten out 3 days in a fucking row, like. So by the time she gets to Sunday, she's so ready to eat clean for like 5-6 days.
Yeah,
so that works. There you go. And then here I am just eating like shit every day. Fucking shit. I could be in the best shape of my life if I just follow my wife's fucking diet. But nope, I'm good. I like to be happy. Food makes me happy. And I got blood work and all this shit done, and I'm not even close to becoming a diabetic, so I'm good.
Oh, yeah. No, I know.
Yeah,
I know. It's funny because same. So obviously I was super clean and I was super lean for a while. The last little bit, obviously I've just been more laxed. Not terrible, but not whatever. And by no means am I overweight, but I'm certainly, a little thicker than I have been. But I got my blood work, and then the doctor's like, well, your stuff is awesome. Like, all of your stuff, like, clearly you're doing good. I'm like, clearly I'm not. Like, you don't even know like the shit I've been eating and how I've been doing, but I'm glad my body's happy. But
Like, okay, listen, at the end of the day, it goes down to genetics. It goes down to like for instance, my grandpa is 93
Yeah.
years old. He is the best Mexican cook still on this earth. So what do you think he ate throughout his whole life? Mexican food,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah.
And he cooked his own food. And dude, I'm telling you, I'm just like, I know I can live off Mexican food and make it to 70. I know I can. And
Oh,
I'm good
yeah.
at 70.
No,
I'm
for
fucking
sure. But I'm just going to tell you, okay, because as a person that was super skinny and didn't have any issues my whole life, 30 came, and then I was like, what's this? Like, there was just, it wasn't terrible, but like shit started popping up that wasn't there. And
oh
then
god.
40, and it's like, okay. And then I started like trying really hard. And then I'm just telling you, like, every year that goes by,
No,
it's
stop.
harder and your metabolism gets more fucked. So I'm just warning you. You're still young, so you got time.
I'm already like, okay, because I turned 36, but I'm already like I'm seeing hair in places I've never seen it before. So
Oh,
I'm like,
dude, it gets way worse. I won't even get into it because I don't want to. But
yeah,
like, it's bad. It's terrible. And why the fuck does this shit have to happen? It's not cool.
it's all good.
Getting old sucks.
You gotta keep your. I mean, honestly though, like for instance, this is why I love my dad so much. Because if you meet my dad, no one ever thinks my dad's 63 because the way he carries his spirit,
Yeah.
acts very young, and like yeah, there's times where my family's like, oh, fucking grow up, but you think he gives a fuck? He's fucking living his life, dude, having fun, doing his thing. So the big reason why I have this fucking kind of way about life is because my dad taught me that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk too much shit about like, family, but I was kind of like he was kind of raised up where like, everyone had a problem with the way he did things, and you know what I mean? And then I felt like everyone had a problem the way I did things. And at the end of the day, I saw my dad never gave a shit. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Do your thing. At the end of the day, like no one's paying my bills. I'm paying my own bills,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, as long as you're not, out there killing people or
yeah, I'm
doing
not killing
bad,
him. Murder free.
right. You know what I mean? Like, who gives a shit if you're finding your way and it's working for you? Like, stay in your own lane.
Stay in your own lane. I love it. Fuck. Um, so let me ask you this, Lori. Like being so young, like you're 18, fucking raging, partying it up.
Yeah.
When was Brian more like, hey, I want to make this into a business? What I'm doing, we're about to live off this. Like, when did that happen?
Well, it's funny because he had already, like I said, he already had this collection, and I think he had even made his first, say, investment
Right.
before during that initial point, to where he was, thinking more future with it. And I think we we followed. We were really good friends with Mark and Kim Bell, who were one of the first forefront people to actually like quit their Eugene was the first one, and Mark was not that far behind, to where he literally quit his job and was breeding snakes full time. And we were right there and best friends. So,
Wow.
being that we were in that circle of friends and hanging out, that became a possibility. And basically, honestly, the whole thing with us too is, you know, again, like I told you, we were talking about our thoughts. You know, we wanted a family. I always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I grew up a lot of times, my parents were divorced. My mom was a single mom for a good portion. She always had to work. And then, when she got remarried, you know, she had my brother and sister, and I helped with the kids and stuff like that. But in my mind, I always wanted to be home with my kids,
Yeah.
and be able to do that. So, and that was something that, he also, agreed with. So it was kind of one of those things where it worked out to where, we had the collection, we had Jade. I was able to stay at home with my daughter and work the snakes. And then it got to a point where Brian's like, you know what? I'm ready to quit this job and just try this full time.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, let's do it. Like, you know what I mean? What's the worst? That was the thing. It was like, okay, well, what's the worst that happens? Go get a job again. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And so we kind of just made that jump as we saw people starting to do it. And fortunately, we're able to just figure it out and make it work ever since. As crazy as that is. But then it's funny because I get people all the time, reach out all the time. How could I want to do this for a living? And honestly, I
Just
don't
has to
see that you can do that anymore. That window, like, you know what I mean? It's different. You're
it,
not going to be
it
able
can
to
happen.
pay
Like
your bills breeding snakes. Like, you know what I mean?
it can happen, but you got to come in with investment. You can't just like, oh man, I'm gonna put everything on the line and I'm gonna invest everything in. No, you
Yeah.
need to have it. Those like you need to have money to keep
It's
putting in and putting in and
It
putting.
is different, exactly. And that's always what we did. And it's funny because we just had this conversation about, our 5-year plan. And obviously we've changed because we don't just do BHB. BHB is the minority, honestly, of what we have going on in our lives and in our business. And when people say that I'm like, no, like I don't have any advice for you. Like, no, don't try to just quit your job and breed snakes. Like, that's probably not going to work for you, because that it's a whole different world. Like, the world when we did it doesn't exist anymore.
Well,
It's a whole different thing.
and then put it like this. Now you're okay. Let's say you want to do that. Guess what stresses you out now? Breeding snakes. Now you're stressed out
Yeah.
all the time because now you're like, fuck, I hope I get this.
It's
I hope I
not your
get that.
hobby. It's not, it's
Yeah.
not fun. It's like, oh my God, if I don't hit this, I can't pay my rent. Like, you know what I mean? So like,
Oh, God, that's so
yeah.
right. It's like people, that's why people really need to get their heads out of the clouds when it comes to stuff like that and thinking, they do look at the Miguels and Justin Cabelkas and, Aussies and think like, oh, wow, like, well, I could just get the snakes they got and do it. It just doesn't
But
work.
this is the thing though, right? Okay, I don't know everybody, but Miguel and Ozzy, they
You
have
can
more going on.
You could take you might not have to use those. You want to disconnect them and not use them?
Well, I can't hear you without them.
No, wait, but they're connected to the laptop, right?
Yeah.
Like can't you turn off wirelessly and just go off your laptop speakers because your laptop has speakers? Does that make sense? Unless you want to keep fucking dealing with what you're dealing with. I just feel bad because you're like fucking fumbling shit. So
Well, I don't know if it'll be too if you'll
it's fine.
get will you get more background music or background noise?
I don't think you will because it's. I mean,
All
is it? Watch, just try it because that way we could get Lori.
Yeah, I know. I'm the worst. I hate technology. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
All right.
Thanks for everyone tuning in. This is amazing. Comments are blowing up. Everyone's happy to be here.
Are they?
Yeah. Got everyone showing love. Ooh, we got $10 in the bucket. Oh, look at that. What up? What up with the super chats for Lori? Drop some super chats and then I'll display your comment. Ooh, look at Lily up in the building. Not my wife. This is Lily N. Lily, drop some money too. Where's my wife? Drop some money, Lily. Happy holidays, Lily. And then happy holidays, House of Exotics. Happy holidays, everybody. All right, can you hear us? Okay, oops. Okay, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. I think you muted yourself.
I did, because you don't want to hear what I have to say.
All right. How's that?
All right.
You sound good? All right, cool. Fuck your headphones. No offense. Now you're yeah. Okay. So, all right. So now going back to what I was saying, of you, Brian already kind of having his plan and it just moving forward, right? So like, what we were saying basically is nowadays it just doesn't happen where you just say, I'm going to become a ball python breeder, fuck everything else, because that's just like, why not make more money if you can, right? That doesn't.
Yeah, that's what I was saying is, like you said, the Justins and the Aussies and the Miguels. The truth of the matter is, I don't know Justin, but I know Miguel and Ozzy have other things going on besides breeding ball pythons. That's not their sole income. Like, right. You know what I mean? And I don't know about Justin, but the reality is most really successful ball python or snake breeders have other things going on too. That's not their sole income, because just like you said, if that is your sole income, that puts that much pressure on. And the truth of the matter is, it's a very volatile market. So you can't really do that. And it's not the same as days of old. Like I said, what we lived through was amazing, amazing time that unfortunately, if you weren't there and didn't experience it, you'll never experience it again. Like
Well,
it was very cool. We're very fortunate to see from the very beginning to what it became. And now it's evolving into something else that's awesome too. But like, it'll never go back to what it was and you'll never experience it. That being said, those opportunities just won't be there because of that. Like anything, right? That's the way life goes.
yeah, it's just the reality of things. There's eras. That's why there's different
Yeah.
eras, different things. And like, it's not like you can't make good money off the reptiles. Like you can make a good source of income, but like you got to do, like, there's other avenues that you have to take, especially nowadays with the social media platforms. And, there's
so many different, so many other different avenues and levels, and it's a whole nother world. And it's totally different. And it's, like I said, it's, and maybe you can have success in different things, but it's all different. So that's what I laugh when people are like, oh, tell me what to do. I can't tell you what to do. Honestly, part of it is luck and taking chances, period. Anytime you do anything,
it sucks because I'm kind of like, I don't know if I did this. I can't say I've never done it, but I'm sure I've done it once, but I shunned away from doing it ever again. But I can't stand when people send me a picture of a snake and say, what would you pair to this? I don't fucking know, dude. What do you
it happens every day. Poor Beth. Like,
what I always do
shit all the time. What is my morph? Well, let me tell you, your morph is a normal ball python.
Yeah. What do you?
That's 90% of them.
Yeah.
But no, and you know what we do? We just we'll go to World of Ball Pythons, put in the calculator, and decide what you want to make. Like, I don't know, I can't decide for you.
Grab a pen, grab a paper, write your goals down.
Right.
Write your goals. Fuck.
What do you like? Because that's the truth, right? What I like and what I would produce isn't necessarily what you would choose, because you probably like different things than me, right? And that's what we tell people is, what do you want to do? Like, you got to choose. I'm not going to tell you, And
at the end of the day, too, like, if I don't want to tell you, I don't have to tell you. Shit, it's my stuff. I'm sorry. Or I mean, like,
well, I do laugh at that too. Because I think exactly just like you said, like, I think most people are looking for the easy. Like, oh, tell me what I need to do to produce the most expensive snake to where I'll make all the money. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, you know what? Just do your shit.
Google it. How about Google? Start with Google, okay, and figure it out.
Start with Google, figure your shit out, probably start a business, probably make a name for yourself, because the truth of the matter is, if you are Joe Schmo and produce a $5,000 snake, you're not going to sell it because nobody knows who the hell you are. Like, you know what I mean? There's stages and there's things you have to do. And to ask somebody like, tell me what I need to do, tells me you're not probably a person who's going to be able to do what you need to do.
Right. And like, I feel like most of these people just don't have good approaches. Like, you don't approach somebody like that. You don't just come out and it's kind of demanding. Like, hey, what do you like? Tell me, like, just because you're.
Do you know how many phone calls I get? Tell me how to open a Repterium. How do I make a Repterium? I'm like,
oh my god.
Delete.
Yeah.
I'm not calling you. I'm not doing. What do you mean? Tell me how to make a Repterium.
The nerve.
Yeah.
It's.
Is that what you do? Do you go? Do you go to Walmart and be like, tell me how I can open a Walmart? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand these people.
But then again, like, even okay, there is no other Walmart. Walmart's Walmart. Like, like. There's there's Big Lots, like there's other versions of, but there's only one Walmart. So then at the end of the day, why do you think no one else is trying to open up another Walmart? Because they can't. You can't. Walmart. Walmart's Walmart. Idiots. What the fuck?
Bingo.
Yeah, that was epic. That we didn't rehearse that. That just all connected.
No, but there you go. I want that clip because I'm gonna find that clip.
Walmart is Walmart. I gotta put this in. Walmart is Walmart. The fuck? And who the hell? And then not only that, and God, for obviously Walmart's balling, right? But who the fuck wants to be Walmart? Let Walmart be Walmart.
You're right.
Walmart is Walmart. Oh, I didn't spell it.
There
right.
you go. Walmart is Walmart.
Walmart, whatever. But yeah, that's a good point, man. Because at the end of the day, I mean, Okay, I'll tell you what though, when I first came across Brian's content and stuff, I just never thought in my mind I would even get anything close. I never thought I would even have a YouTube account or anything like that. But I don't know. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, you don't set limits for yourself, but you need to find someone you got to find a mentor or build relationships with somebody. You got to be somebody who's likable, I guess. Like come with a good approach. I don't know, man. I'm not saying be a fucking reach arounder and just go give everyone's like, brown nose props, but there's people out there you will connect with.
I think the other thing too, though, like honestly, who are the most successful people and who are the ones who do stuff are the who really go out, figure shit out, and just do stuff. You know what I mean? Like you're not having people like, what do I do? Tell me what to do whatever. You know what? You figured it out. Like, you know what? I want to do this. Okay. All right. Even if it's just emulating or doing whatever, like nobody like paved the path for what you've done, right? Nobody was like, here, this is what you do, MJ. Here, do this, first do this, first do that, do this. Did they? Like you know what I mean? You figured the shit out. You worked and you did whatever. And I think that, that's pretty much the success story. And that's what I've preached to like Noah. Like it doesn't matter what you choose to do. If you work hard enough and just work hard and figure it out, you'll be successful at whatever you do. You just got to keep going and keep grinding and you'll figure it out. Right.
Yeah. And just so you know, people could sense grind from the other side of the phone. If you're like a real hustler and you really put your shit out there, like people can notice that. Like people pay attention to that. And that's mad respect. Like that's I mean, I just feel like, but I feel like at the most part, people just when your mind's in the right place and your heart's in the right place and you're doing what you love, things will fall into your lap. They will fall into your lap. It just happens.
Yeah.
If you pray, I pray a lot. So I don't know. But I'm just saying, like,
and that, you know what? And that's huge. And that's a good thing to have on your side,
You listen, to each their own. I'm just saying, I have a higher belief and I stick to that. And, it brought me a life that I can't pay this back. I love the hobby for this, like forever, because now I'm in a good place mentally, but not only that, like, this is how I spend my time. This is how I party right here. And the worst thing that could happen is I'll go eat fucking junk food and I'll get super high still and I'll go to sleep. Guess what? I'm still up at 4 a.m.
That's not a bad life, right?
I love it. Fucking alpaca, I take care of the alpacas, I just fucking
I know. Dude, I watch your stories and I'm like, what the fuck kind of life is this guy living with the chickens and the alpacas?
Dude, wait till the emus come.
Oh, jeez. Brian's so jealous.
Oh man, well, I'm trying to get Brian and you guys to come to California. He said he's 2021 is looking pretty good. So hopefully you guys can come hang out and I'll have the emus by then. They probably won't be huge, but I already found a guy on Facebook who I just joined a group. Like, even though I don't own emus, I joined a group page, and my God, there's breeders galore. I was like, oh my God. And then there was one guy who like I posted a ball python post, and he was like, lost his shit. He's like, let me know if you want to trade eggs and blah blah blah.
Oh
like,
Lord.
There you go. I was like, that's how things
like we're in.
That's how things land in your lap. I just have to get Lily to say yes. I'm like 50-50 on that right now. But Lily said no to the alpacas at first too. So you can't front on that, babe. You did say no to the alpacas at first, and now you're in love with them. So
yeah, no, that's how that shit goes, right? That's why I just got to stay firm and say no, because it's the same thing as I'm in there with fucking Drogo the sloth today. I'm just like scratching his head like, hey bud, and he's looking at me, and it's funny because we're dying laughing because he loves me and he loves Jay, who is the main keeper, and he doesn't like Brian. Like
what does Drogo do to give you signs that he don't like Brian? Like, hit that?
So if it's me or if it's Jay, he's super chill. He just lays there, like he'll look at us and he's really calm. So Brian comes in and I told Brian, this is why, because whenever he's in there, like he's trying to film, he's trying to do whatever. So it's agitating, it's crazy. And honestly, like he hasn't really got to know him from a calm standpoint because he isn't with him too much if he's not filming. So when he's like that, like it's not a good, he's not comfortable because he doesn't, know or whatever. And so then he just gets real agitated and stuff. Like the other day, it was funny. He's like laying in his tree and I'm just petting him. I'm scratching his head, and then I start scratching his belly. I was like, look at that. Like, this is so crazy. Like, you can actually like feel his ribs and stuff like that. I was like, look, and when I'm doing it, like he's just laying there and he's like nothing. I'm like, feel this, Brian. Brian goes and reaches and touches him. He turns his head. He's like,
oh my God. Dude,
I just start laughing. He's like, don't touch me.
I would be so scared if that thing growled at me. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know this thing could growl. You know what I mean? Oh my God.
It was so funny. And look at, and he's fine. Like, I'm touching him. It's like nothing. He's just like, I'm fine.
Wow.
But he was not happy as soon as he touched him. I was like, you just got to spend more time with him.
I'm gonna have nightmares of a growling sloth. Oh man, that's scary.
It's kind of weird. It's between like a growl and almost like a hiss. Like it's really weird, you know. But he definitely, like, you can tell he's agitated. Like, oh, don't touch me.
It's crazy. Oh, because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I almost got in tears when I saw you were getting a sloth. Like, I would fucking dream of a sloth. Like, that's just like, you know, another historic type thing you can add to the list. That's why I'm obsessed with these emus, because Jesus, they're like little raptors running around. But yeah,
it's funny. See, like I love animals, but I don't necessarily want them. You know, like dogs. I love dogs. You know, and if I was irresponsible, I'd have 100 because I love them. But the only reason I don't is because I know, like, I don't. You know, I can't take care of more. Otherwise, I'd have so many more. But with, you know, I was back and forth with the sloth, and I was like, okay, yes, we can do this or whatever. But I was like, I don't care. But then once he's there and one spend time with him, and then I'm like, you asshole. Like, obviously you're kind of cool and
non-cool.
Yeah, exactly. And then he went over, like, fuck. Like,
it sucks. It sucks. Like, you know, the one guy who's putting the sloth out there for excitement doesn't like Brian. He's like,
oh, I love it. I love it. It's so funny.
Damn, respect the sloth, Brian. You don't want to go there. Damn. I gotta say, I don't think I've ever, okay, I didn't know, like I said, I didn't even know sloths could get angry. So I mean, you know, maybe give me a little if that happens again. I would love to see it. I would love to just witness.
Oh yeah, no, they're funny, and I think that's the thing. Like I said, right? The longer you have animals, you get to know them, right? Because you spend time with them, you read them, and stuff like that. And that's, you know, that's what I said right from the start. Is okay. Well, we have to make sure that what we're doing, like, is good for the animal as well as us, you know, if it comes to experiences and stuff like that. And then, yeah, it's getting to know him as, okay, what is he comfortable with? What is, you know, what stresses him out and stuff like that. And right now it works out because obviously COVID, USDA, you know, we don't have our permits yet to exhibit him. We're fine to have him. We can't have him on display. So he's not shown, and we don't do interactions or anything yet, which is good because we're still getting to know him and trying to figure out what exactly those interactions will be. Because whatever they are, we want to have cool interactions for people, but we also don't want to stress out our animal too. So we're kind of learning, like, for us to do that doesn't stress him out and stuff like that.
Wow.
So
I mean, that's like a whole think about it, man. It's a whole like care sheet to discover and learn on your own. It's fucking keeping a sloth, but it's like, man, what a level
for sure. And I knew it would be, because I mean, mammals are way different than reptiles, you know, on so many levels. And that's what I said right from the start. And that's, you know, and this will probably be the only mammal we'll have at the Repterium, you know, that being said. He's super cool. He's a really neat animal. And believe me, every single day people are like, oh, you know, can we do the sloth? And it's like, well, not yet. So, but when we figure it out, it'll be fun, and he will get to meet people.
Zeus, you better chill out, Zeus.
Come here.
Say hi, Zeus. Come here, Zeus. Say hi. Zeus.
Come here.
Oh my God, dude, he almost took my hand off the first time I was over there. But hi, Zeus. He's
our protector.
He's a big boy.
He is.
Now, is there a date, or is there kind of like a, I don't know, like a rough estimate on when the 3.0 opening is going to happen?
So that is still yet to be determined. I know Brian talks a lot about it, but it's still nothing in stone. We're still talking.
I know it's going to be huge. It's like it's going to be like, oh, I mean, there's a lot to it. He told me, from what I understand.
Well, this is the thing: is there's a lot of ideas, but as most of Brian's ideas, we don't know what is possible and what is not. Okay. So, and obviously, 2020 has been a shit show. So that in itself, we're just at this point, we're happy to just be open and just be operating on the limited numbers and what we're doing. We haven't done anything. Even, we have an idea of what we would like to do 3.0, but as far as research and stuff, like none of that stuff has been done yet. So probably 2021, we'll start actually doing the research on the ideas that we have to see what's possible, what's not. And then as it goes, so possibly the end of next year, maybe we'll start, being able to work towards whatever it ends up being,
Okay.
I mean, I love Brian. He's got grandiose ideas, and are they all possible? We don't know yet.
By day, I mean, you can never limit that guy. I'll tell you what. I mean,
no, they're literally like, he is the epitome of the dreamer. Like, to the fullest extent, like to the point where it literally gives me heart palpitations.
One thing I'm happy about meeting you guys is like, dude, I have a little bit of love. Well, I do got love for Michigan. Michigan's it's a pretty state. Like, I like the area you guys are in. Like, I thought it was real. I mean, it was cold. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, it was pretty. And I've been there in the spring, and I've been there in the fall. So I mean, I was like, I like Michigan.
Yeah, and the truth of the matter is too, if you've only been to where we are, you have no idea. So as you go further north, if you're into like nature and stuff like that, like there's some killer stuff the more north you get, to where Michigan has a lot of stuff. I never really realized, being that that's where I was born, but like seeing other things and then like understanding, people appreciating what we have, I've realized in my life, like how cool Michigan is, and the cool, sceneries and stuff that we have that a lot of places don't. So it is a really cool state.
So the Lori gene, I want to talk about the Lori gene. I like that. I want a super Lori, but again, fucking, just like the merchandise, Brian gives me a stiff arm. So
well, talk to me. I'm the one to talk to.
Jesus.
What are you talking about? We already talked about this.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so same.
You want something? I'm the one to talk to.
Same lesson learned earlier. Okay, but I really love. I mean, I love, like, when I saw it turn into a super, and I just feel like there's so much potential into that. But I mean, you were involved, because it's not like you're involved in everything that comes in, or are you? Because I think you were just happen to be there, and you're like, I won't keep that shit, right? Or how'd that work? How'd the Lori?
So, like I said, back in those days, this is the back when. Okay, so what was around? We had albinos, pastels were like new, because that was a codom thing,
right?
They called pastel when they first, whoever named them, and then now it's just cinnamon. Those were a codom gene that was found. There was very few genes back then. So we were importing thousands and thousands of ball pythons. So we would go through these crates of thousands of ball pythons looking like, okay, do we have any pastels? Do we have any cinnamons? Do we have any whatever coming in, as normals? Right. And at that point, and that's how a lot of these genes got found, is people like us, the ones that were bringing them in, we're going, this looks different, set it aside. And then you breed it out and see if it's, breeds out to be something. And so I remember we were going through, and again, the cinnamons and the, were there. And I saw the one, and I was like, this kind of looks like a cinnamon, but a little bit different. And I set it aside, and I think there might have been 2 or 3. And Brian's like, nah, that's not anything. I'm like, well, I think it might be. So I marked Lori, and I set these up in shoe boxes, Lori, because these are mine. Right. Don't sell them. Yeah. And so then that became the joke within the next year or two as you're raising them. Oh, those are the Lori balls.
Okay, so then
So finally, and there happened to be like, I can't remember what the ratio was, but there was at least a male and a female in there. And so when we bred them the first year, we got the first super lorry, which was crazy, but it was a little messed up and it didn't survive, but it was insane because it was that light blue, crazy pattern, whatever.
right.
So it like proved me right. And I was like,
Told
there
you.
you go. Like,
Suck it, bitches.
exactly. Suck
Okay.
on it, sucker.
But then but you actually successfully got the super lorry to come out with leopard.
Yeah, so it was funny, and I gave him shit, and he admitted all the years later, like it wasn't something he really put in the forefront, and I think probably because he was a little bit hurt because it was my doing and he wasn't involved. He didn't work that gene very much until later.
I love this thing, dude.
But no, honestly, and you know what's so funny is for me, it's every single thing I would love. Like to me, I'll pick an axanthic over an albino any day. So like these already had like the darker tones to them, and then you take the super has that blue-ish look to it, which I love. Like it's if I had to pick a thing, that's what I would pick. So the fact
it worked out
was pretty damn awesome. You know, and I really like I said, they put it to a few things like the leopard, the lorry leopards are really cool. And we've done a few other things too. And I think it's kind of cool, like all of those genes, right? Like you kind of have to find the genes that actually like enhance it versus, you know, don't and stuff. So we'll just see where it goes. But
can I tell you what I would do with it?
Yeah.
I would put super GHI hypo in there. Done.
Yeah, like I like that too because I'm a big fan of GHI. So I actually like that thought. I agree. I think that would be kind of cool. Yeah.
And a true like even if you put Mojave in the mix, then you have like that chance of because if you saw Miguel has a GHI Mojave hypo that's literally like blue. It's like a blue white snake. It's
really
weird.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm thinking if you mix those with this, I wonder what kind of blue you could actually make. It might be.
Send me one.
Yeah. Or both you guys could send me one, and you guys don't have to worry.
Right. We'll just send them to you, and you do it. How's that?
Yeah, and I'll look like the baller, and then I'll be like,
right.
you know what I mean?
All right, I'll see what I could do.
I love it. It's gorgeous. No, but good work. I've been always meaning to talk to you about that, so I'm glad we're on the podcast. It seems fitting that I could bring it up. So I'm glad we got.
No, it's funny, and it is funny. Like I said, it's still kind of weird too. Like I don't know, I still feel kind of weird that that's what they're called, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. It's too late. It's like if you know the story, like anyone. I mean, the thing is, like that's such a legit reason to call it the lorry gene because it probably would have been a hidden gem normal or something that Brian
exactly.
Up on. You know,
yeah, but instead, joke was on me, but guess what? Joke was on you. So there you go.
Oh man. Did you do? I mean, I know Brian's traveled around a lot. Are you a big traveler? Do you go on a lot of adventures with him, or did you go on a lot of adventures with Brian?
So, not really so much animal adventures.
Vacation, obviously.
Yeah, in the past few years, yes. Obviously, we had young kids, so I was home with the kids most of the time when he did a lot of stuff. I went to Australia with him, one time, I think the first time that he went. And then I'm trying to think. I went to China with him on that one.
How is China? How is China?
That was crazy. Crazy. Yeah. So it was funny because Australia was just like US, but I felt like it was like back in time. Like they're like us, but like not as far ahead. Like I felt like I was like in the 60s, in the US. So China was a whole nother world. Like that was the farthest away from anything I've ever felt. Like,
wow.
In retrospect, when I was there, like some parts were really hard because of that, because it was so foreign and so strange. Obviously, I have no Chinese, so like if we didn't have somebody that could communicate. Like, there was zero, we were in a few spots where we didn't have a translator and like they didn't know either. So like that was really hard. Dude, I was just trying to get a fucking cup of coffee. Like all I needed was coffee so bad. They did not understand me. Like they like water, milk. And I'm just like, fuck, I just need a coffee. Like so bad.
Wow.
And when you can't communicate, that's so bad. It's so hard.
That's wild.
They're just different. It's a different culture. They're very, very different. Not that it's bad, but it's weird. Like, you know what I mean? When it's such a different culture, I appreciate it now. On the other hand, and I think if I went back, I'd appreciate it more. But it was very strange when I was there. I don't know that I'd ever feel any. Like there's probably other places I'd feel similar, maybe depending. I don't know, but I don't think it'd be ever any weirder than that. Like I never felt more foreign than when I was there.
I've heard multiple stories about like the Japanese being very respectful. Like they're all respectful humans. With Chinese, with Chinese like
Chinese,
that?
no. So rudest people. Yeah. Like, let me tell you, like New York times 1,000. Like these people, and this is just how they live. They're just like, like pushing their way, like whatever. And you're just looking like, what the hell is going on? And there's no like, you do that in New York and people be like, hey, what the fuck? No, these people just are like, it's just how they act. Like it's not rude to each other. That's just what they do. It's how they interact with each other. It's so crazy. Yeah, that was very weird. Very weird.
Nobody judge me on this because I don't know if this lady was Chinese, but I was in Costco the other day and we heard like this like manager employee kind of tell off a lady, say, hey, you got to pay for that. And I guess this lady just came and grabbed one of the bananas, ripped it off, and like gave it to her kid to eat. and he pretty much said something, and she just looked at her like, what the fuck? And just like put the banana back and walked away. And I was like, dude, that's
I don't think that has to do with Chinese, because dude, let me tell you something. I see that shit in the supermarket all the time. Like, you know what I mean? Kids are being bad. They're like, here, just eat this. Like I've seen people open fucking packages, give their kid a thing and put the package back on the counter. Like they're not even buying the fucking package, but they're giving the kid the cookie or whatever. And I'm just like, seriously? People are just dumb.
Period.
They're just assholes.
I do want to say shout out to all my Chinese people out there. You guys are awesome.
No, and you know what? No, I love the experience of it, and I'm not saying anything bad about it. It's just the way they are. Like, you know what I mean? It's just the culture, right? That's just
everyone. Yeah, yep. I agree. But like I feel like every culture has its disrespectful type of like humans.
I'm sure
we're all the same everywhere you go, man.
Yeah.
But then some are just different at being disrespectful. And in San Diego, you got Mexicans, you got blacks, you got Asians, you got Caucasians, you got almost everything, and everything has a rude version of it. And boy, are they! Yeah. It
was funny because we even went to Disney. So it actually worked out so awesome because I'm a huge Disney fan and I loved it all things.
I love Disney too.
We went in the summer, it was August. And the Disneyland or Disney World, whatever it is, in China just opened in June. So it was only open for a few months. And I was like, okay, if we're going there, we're going to Disney. Oh my so, he told the people who were doing the trip. And so we went there. And so we get there, and we are one of the very few people, as always, in China that aren't Chinese. So we're in line to get in to do whatever. We already have our tickets, but you have to wait in line. So the line was going so slow, and we're like, what the hell is taking so long? And as we get up there, we see every single person, when you get to the kiosk to like do your ticket, like, yeah, it's a fucking argument. Like they're just like yelling and screaming at each other, like blah 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 blah. Like literally, each person takes like 10 minutes yelling back and forth, and then just scan their ticket and they go. And we're like, What is going on? And like
Yeah.
every single person, it's the same thing. This is just how these people are. Like everything is a fight and an argument. And it wasn't like, you know, you would think if this happened in the States, the cops would be coming, like to break this shit up. This is how the community.
I think that's just how they talk. Like, you know, for instance, a lot of people think.
No, that's exactly. And as soon as we got past that, we were fine. But I was like, seriously? Like, and then we get up there, we're like, dink, and we just walk through.
Dude, crazy. They probably looked at you weird, like, what's her problem?
Right, exactly. What? You're not.
She's up to something.
No, but we're like, why is this taking so long? And that's literally what it was. Like, I wish we could have heard, like, understood, translated what was the conversation was, because every single one seemed to be the same. And I don't know what they were yelling about.
They're probably all asking what the feature was at 12 o'clock. I'm like, it's something real, just a legit question. And Laura's like, whoa, psychos, you guys are scaring me. So okay. When was Forky born? When did he come? Because this is a happiness picture right here. So when
this was this year. Obviously Forky came in the last Toy Story. Whoever follows Toy Story, which is near and dear to my heart. So when Noah was little, Toy Story came out, and when he would, you know, when I would work, I would put Toy Story in the VHS. He would watch that at the top while I was working. So we grew up watching Toy Story on the regular. So I've seen them all. And I loved Forky in the last one. So when Jade and I do an annual Disney trip, I think this is year 7 or 8 for us.
Wow.
And obviously during, you know, the pandemic, everything is weird, but we still wanted to go even more so. Because of because of the limited numbers. Like if you go to Disney all the time, like this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to go there with limited people
and enjoy it. Yep.
Yeah, even though some of the attractions aren't open, the fact that there's that much less people there is something that we definitely wanted to experience. And so we went there, and we went to it was Universal Studios first, because that's where the Toy Story Land is. Because last year we didn't get to go on the Toy Story roller coaster because the line was too long. So it's like, all right, we're going to go there first. We went straight there. The line was not long. We went on, and then you go through the gift shop, and then we're looking through the thing, and they had Forky, and I'm like, Forky! I'm kidding. Right away. So then I bought Forky, and then he was there for the rest of the trip. So it basically turned into Forky's trip. And then, we just spent everything we did. I just took pictures with Forky doing everything.
Saw that. That was like your adventure buddy throughout.
Yeah, for sure. I had a lot of fun with them, and we were cracking up, and it was fun. So yeah.
You've never been to like Disneyland. It's always been Disney World.
I've been to Disneyland once.
Okay.
Yep, we went there the first Anaheim show. So when NARBC did that first Anaheim show, we went there, and we didn't know how it was going to be. And Brian's sister actually met us there from Hawaii. So we were, the show's closer to fly. She met us there. We did the whole trip. We did Disney, and I think we did what was the other one? They've got the Snoopy.
Oh, Universal Studios?
Knott's Berry Farm.
Knott's Berry Farm.
Oh, yeah. So we did that. Noah was 4 years old. So however long ago that was, yes. So we kind of stayed a few extra days, did those things. So that's the one time we did Disneyland.
Yeah. That's a good thing about like Southern California is like you could hit Disneyland, Universal Studios, Knoxbury Farm. Like you
Yes.
get a lot of cool things.
It's all like right there. Yeah.
Six Flags too. Even Six Flags is like maybe an hour north or something like that.
Okay.
So yeah, I love that stuff, man. Disneyland is for sure dear to my heart. I just never been to Disney World. I mean, I've always wanted to. But
Let me tell you, Disney World beats the pants off of Disneyland. It's
Okay.
so much bigger and so much more. Just for the sheer, like, obviously Florida, they can buy more land, so they can do so much more. Yeah. You know,
and it sucks because, like, man, it's just Disneyland just doesn't hit the same anymore like when I was a kid. Because, like, as much as they try to do everything to maintain it, it's just like everything is still like Anaheim around it. You know what I mean? And it's like you said, they can only expand so much, right?
Exactly. They can't, right? They're landlocked, so they can't do a whole lot. Where Disney World, they're constantly changing and adding and doing whatever because, you know, it's Florida. They own so much freaking land there that it's crazy so you need to go to Disney World.
Yeah, Disney World's, and then I have like a lot of cool friends in Florida now too that I got to visit anyway.
Yeah.
So, like, I think
Gatorland's not that far either, so it's like kind of a twofer.
Yeah. I'm with it. I mean, Florida just kind of freaks me out just because everything I read about Florida. But you know
you know what? Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I don't like Florida. The only reason I go to Florida
Disney World.
Disney.
Yeah.
Other than that, not so much, but it's okay. Okay, Phoebe. Okay.
Oh, Phoebe up in the building.
Go to bed.
Hi, Phoebe.
All right.
Phoebe, she's so big. What a sweetheart. That's a sweetheart.
Go on.
Sweetheart. Now, Lori, I have to ask. Okay, going into 2021, what's your spirit like right now? Like, what do you think? I mean, how do you think what kind of year is 2021 going to be? What can you predict? Maybe
I can predict it's going to be better than 2020.
That's
100% better. Right?
Right, for real.
Can't be worse.
But like even like Disney World should be probably more open to the public. Like it can't be worse than what you went through at this year at Disney World, right?
No. As it's going, it's like opening more and more. And I mean, the reality is I think, you know, between the vaccines and this whole thing working its course out, you know, I think we'll slowly get back to what we were, you know. So.
Yeah, I agree too. I mean, I think at least other than that, I think we're gonna have more shows too. Because I mean, that's one thing I miss is the damn reptile shows. I'm new to those, so I mean, like going to those, and this was supposed to be my year. Well, I was supposed to go to almost all of them. I mean, fucking sure enough.
Listen, we all had plans this year that did not.
Yeah, amen. But you know, look, like I totally agree with what you just said. 2021 may not be fucking what we're used to, but it's still going to get better little by little, for sure. Mm-hmm. And I know that's good too, because I mean, I do know, even though, I mean, I bet because let's be honest, I mean, from when I first went to the Repterium, when there was no regulations or laws, I saw how fucking packed that place gets. That place is nonstop. And it's fucking nuts. And I was already kind of like, I was going on no sleep, so I was already kind of like off a little bit. But man, I was almost getting dizzy in there because how much everything was moving.
That was literally one of the craziest weekends we've ever had. So like that wasn't like the norm.
Okay.
that weekend was insane. That opening weekend.
That was nuts.
The numbers that we had.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy is like, as much as I got enough to talk to you guys, but you guys were still nonstop helping everybody. Like Brian was just like out of control. Like he was like literally just everywhere. He was like just bouncing off the wall. And I took a lot back from that, because I was like, man, you know, Miguel used to tell me about Brian's work ethic, but when you see it in person, it's like, dude, this guy does not stop. And he's always like that. Every time I go over and see him, he's fucking always grinding, always nonstop. Unless we're inside the Asana. Jesus. Oh my God. Let's talk about the Asana. Oh my God. Oh, that damn, what was it? Was it called an ice tub? An ice fucking almost.
Well, he turned into a hot tub right now, so because it's cold outside.
What's that all about, Brian? Oh, look who's here. Look.
Oh,
Lori will be on me, but glad she's Whatever.
I knew there's no way he wouldn't come in this some way or
He's been
another.
listening this whole time. Wasn't he the one that told you Knoxberry Farm? I think that was him, wasn't it?
He was. You heard him.
Knoxberry Farm.
Yeah, I'm trying not to, but I'll yell from the background.
Brian, I know you want to show your face. You could just show your
He
face.
does.
He's like, oh man, no, I'm good, man. No, come on, let's knock it off. Oh my god, he's so funny. I love that man, dude. It's too much.
That's okay. I already told him. I was like, listen, I was the last of all of us three that got invited on this podcast, so I know how the rotation goes.
Laura, you gotta understand. For one thing, I didn't think you'd even give me the damn time of day to come on this podcast. Just because, I mean, we weren't that tight yet. You know what I mean? You told me when you finally told me on when we had the friends the Traps Giving, and you're like, well, I'm down. You know, I was literally like, dude, stay on here, Lori. Like, don't leave. Like, I wanted you to be a part of that. You know, that trio that was going on, man. It was amazing. But yeah, I mean, the reason why this is so important is because you're not that person to like your Instagram is your private account. Like, you're not fucking on the stories promoting Repterium and going all doing that's your life. Like, and that's the kind of person you are. So you got to understand that's people are so curious about like what, you know, just to hear words from you. And you got to understand, Lori, like, you know, you're just to actually know you outside of what I knew about you following Brian. And like, it's amazing on how powerful of a lady you are. Like, you are definitely one of, like I said, you probably the most influential woman in this hobby. Like, nobody's doing what you're doing, hands down.
Well, I mean, I appreciate that. I don't feel that. That's not who, you know, I feel I am, or that I want to be, or anything like that. You know, I just, you know, just like I said, you know what I'm just staying in my own lane. You know what I mean? I do what I do, and I'm not trying to be, you know,
anyone else. Yeah. You're not trying to be Walmart.
No, I don't want, you know, I don't, that's not my thing. Like, I don't need to be, you know, some famous whatever, you know, I'm just doing my thing, and I'm fine just doing my thing.
And you know what's awesome is, like, you know, you're not tripping that whatever Brian's thing is his thing. Like, you know, there's no offense to any girls. There's guys out there too, but like, if it's not one person's thing, that person normally doesn't want that to be the other person's thing. Or there's kind of like a tension, or like, well, no, don't, like, you know, they try to put a roof over it right away. Right. And I could tell you right now, before I met Lily, any girl that I would talk about snakes would just fucking be creeped out by me, or would probably like make it seem like I shouldn't go that route. When Lily, I think the fucking first night she stayed the night with me, fucking, and it wasn't that easy. But I'm just saying, the first night she stayed, we were watching something on A&E, I forget, and she's like, "What are you looking at?" And I'm staring at this ball python, and I'm like, I don't know if I could spend $300 something on a snake. That's crazy. And she's like, "Why not? What's stopping you?" And I was like, "Wow, that's amazing. This girl's
she's the one." See, that's when you were like, "That's the girl I'm gonna marry."
Yeah, I got this big. I was like, my pupils was like the Matrix. Oh man. And then that's when you know what I mean? Don't settle, man. Don't fucking settle for shit. You got to do it.
No, and I think, you know, it's funny, and I think that's a good thing. And if there's anybody out there listening, like, if you're looking for your match or your mate, I think that's important, you know, like, because I had this conversation, you know, with somebody, I can't remember, not too long ago. And I know somebody like that's the thing, like, because, you know, maybe Brian's vision wasn't mine, but I was fine with it. I'm like, all right, sure, fuck it. Like, we can do this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, we can do this together, even though snakes weren't my thing. Like, I knew somebody, and their, you know, significant other, like, their dream was to have a restaurant.
Right.
And the wife was like, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. Like, and just totally squashed the dream. And then the person, you know, lives their whole life, you know, and never just literally just job, just, you know, working 2-3 jobs, doing whatever. And they had this dream that never got to even be tried, you know. And to me, that's kind of sad, right?
It's super.
You know what I mean? Like, how is that, like, that's okay? Like, yeah, it's risky, it's whatever, but really? That you would, you would be the one, that the crusher, to say, no, like, we're not going to do that over something. Like, to me, that's not cool. And that's probably, if you have dreams and aspirations, find the person that it is at least going to try it. And what's the worst that's going to happen? You know what I mean? If something doesn't work out, oh well, then we just pick up and start again, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, why is that so bad? That if that's the worst case scenario, just okay, we'll just do the next thing, or after that, okay, didn't work out, guess we'll get the regular job, or you know what I mean? Like, at least you got to try, so.
And I'll tell you what, if you're that person who just can't make a decision and just go for it, then go to a fucking retirement home and talk to some of those people. Okay.
Well,
See what
it's
that looks
funny
like.
though, because there's some people who don't,
Yeah,
and I've had that conversation with Noah. There's some people who, like, what, listen, I'm going to be an accountant and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm okay. And because I think there's people to live every position of life, right? And there's nothing wrong with you if that is the case. But if you are a person who has dreams and wants to try things, I think it's bad if you don't. Because, and sometimes they work out and sometimes they don't. But you know what? If you never try, you'll never know,
Yeah. What's crazy is, like, man, I never, like, even with sports, I was good at sports, but I always lacked work ethic, like the hard stuff, like, you know what I mean? And like, I eventually started doing it because in order for me to get noticed, I had to start doing the hard stuff, right? But throughout my whole life, I just looked to go through the easy route. Like, that's just kind of what I just expected to do. And then
we all do, right?
Right. But then, you hit a hobby like this, and you if you have a shortcut mentality or look for easy ways out, you're just fucking yourself over, because the best teacher in this is experience and having the fucking repetitions and stuff like that. And I knew that from the beginning. And the thing is, I took this shit so serious when I was keeping animals, meaning if I'm going to keep animals, I'm making sure these animals are, immaculate. They're going to look like a collection, like I want to keep. But then also doing research and understanding, like, what fucking mites look like and what to do with mites, or fucking a sick snake. I don't know. You have animals, anything could happen. Like, anything could go down.
Yeah.
And I just never took anything more serious in life like the shit I take now. And like, what's crazy is, like, people come over and look at my snakes and they fucking give me mad props on how everything looks. And that right there is like, man, that's satisfying to me, because I know I bust my ass with fucking keeping this shit up. And then you go to a place like a Repterium, and oh my God, like, that is the nicest.
Are you going to talk mad smack about us right now? Huh? You go to the Repterium, and the way they keep their shit is just like
shit. Oh yeah, right. It is crazy how legit everything is in the Repterium. There's not one thing faulty of the Repterium. I've been there multiple times, and to have that many species all in one room and to have everything function the way it should be, it is nuts. It's like, you got to understand, there's so much thinking and like knowledge behind each enclosure. And, you got people like Bruce, Jay, and like the squad that he has there is just like, it's nuts. Like, I'm telling you, there's no place like the Repterium at all.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And let's be honest, nothing is perfect, but it's a work in progress, and we're always working. We're working and striving, and we see our faults and we're trying to fix them. And, that's the ultimate goal, is to, have that ultimate level of care for every single thing that's there. That's what we strive for,
I'll tell you what, I mean, I don't know. I'm not just saying this, but I've seen big collections before, right? And for the most part, there's something that's horrific that I witnessed that I take with me when I leave, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, that's how that person, no one's perfect, right? But like,
no.
Some people just have straight neglect there. Like, it's straight neglect, and it's like, you scratch your neck, like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, this is like obviously they just, like, I don't know, like, to me, that would drive me nuts. I would lose sleep overnight if my snake looked like that, period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. I literally, it's not like I was looking for anything red flags at the Repterium or BHB, but I can't help but to notice them, and I couldn't fucking find anything. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, everything was fucking perfect. Like, I'm telling you, it was perfect.
I appreciate that. And like I said, coming from whatever, like, we always know there's always ways to improve, and that's us. That's us as me and Brian and our employees. Like, we're always looking to improve, and we always are.
Right.
And I appreciate that, because that's the thing. Like, honestly, we work hard at that, and that means a lot, because, like you said, that means a lot to us. Like, that's it's funny, because that's how I feel. Like, I feel like the Repterium is a reflection of us, much as I do like my home. Like, when you come into my house, and if my house isn't clean, if everything's not in order, like, you might not even notice, but I notice. And like that, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, oh my God, like, and that's how I feel every single time somebody walks into the Repterium. I feel like the way every cage looks, the care of the animals, is a reflection of me. And that's what that was Brian doing.
What?
But that, and then also our employees feel the same way. So thank you for, saying that, because that means a lot, because we work really hard, and we try, and we strive, and we're always, like I said, constantly changing and improving and stuff, because, that's the ultimate goal.
Well, coming from manager background, and like, I wasn't the best manager, but I did understand that culture is everything. Like, you got to build your community, and it has to be everything on the same page, on the same level. There can't be a boss per se. Like, there's got to be someone fucking just, leading the pack, and there's got to be other leaders underneath it. People just got to lead all in general, and everything works in a great system there. Like, and it's cool, because Jay wasn't there when I was at the 2.0, but then he was there when I was there recently for the podcast, and that kid's great. You know what I mean? I actually was just kind of sitting back and watching him work with him, with the people on the tour and stuff, and he carries his energy with everybody. You know what I mean? And
no, Jay's got a great energy, and people love him, as far as, from that. But he's an awesome guy, and he's our adopted son now. So
perfect. There you go.
He came with us to go, get Drogo and stuff, and in the process of that trip, we adopted him. I'm not sure how that happened, but nice. He's spending Christmas with us this year.
There you go. Oh, looks like I know who to book. Looks like I know who to book next.
Right.
The fourth Barczyk. Well, I need to get on here too.
The newest.
Yeah, the newest. Oh my God, that's so awesome. Well, I'm telling you, man, you guys have like I was telling Lily, that my Vegas experience was the first time where I wasn't shit house, and I was like, oh, like, just what, like, I actually got to enjoy it, and I couldn't have picked a better group of people to hang out with. Was like with you guys. I got to go to that sign museum and like just actually do cool shit. Didn't go on the fucking go-karts, obviously, but
right. There was some crazy, like, fucked up shit with that trip, but there was good stuff too.
Oh, yeah, it was fun, man. It was a good time. Like, I can't complain. I mean, I think the only bummer about that trip was like we couldn't find a legit place to eat. Like, there was no, you know what I mean? And that's what do we love? Food.
Freaking COVID. Cuba. Hey, although the sushi wasn't bad that we ended up with, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, we want to talk about that, because specifically you said you wanted no spicy rolls. All those fucking rolls were spicy.
Not at my end. You sat at the other end. My rolls on my end weren't not spicy.
I could have sworn he ordered the same rolls for you. I could have
sworn
like, and that's
believe me, I would not have eaten the spicy rolls. So I think Brian probably saved that. Somebody did, because I did not get the spices.
That's probably why I couldn't fucking drink the rest of the trip, because all that damn spicy fucking shit that was going on.
Could be. And maybe I didn't eat as much as you, and that's why I had room for the ice cream sandwich at the end.
I ate a lot. I ate a lot. Oh my God, Lori, this has been an amazing 2 hours. I can't thank you enough. I do have hot seat questions for you if you're ready for those.
I don't know what they are, but all right.
Well, nobody knows what the hot seat questions are. It's rapid fly. It's rapid fire. Okay, so it's just like boom, boom, boom. Okay, so hot seat question time for
how my mind goes, but we'll try.
All right, here we go. Hot seat question time for Lori Barczyk. Frozen thought or live?
What?
Okay, frozen thought or live? Frozen thought or live?
Whatever the animal wants.
Okay, if it was preference, if you had to pick, what would you want?
Well, frozen thawed is easier.
Frozen thawed. A cutter or no cutter?
No, I think you have to cut, because a lot of times if you don't cut, there's things that won't hatch otherwise. So
All right, cut. Big flexor or no flexor?
I don't even know what that means. Flex?
You like yeah, exactly. Do you like to flex? You like to flex on somebody if you need to, or do you not rather not? Are you like
No, I flex on, yeah, if I get a flex, I get a flex.
yeah. Epic. All right. Football or hockey?
What?
Football or hockey?
Oh, hockey. I hate football.
Steak or fish?
Steak. Oh, fish is gross.
Van Halen or Sammy Hagar?
Depends.
Gotta pick. There's only one.
All right, I'll go Van Halen.
Come on, that couldn't be that hard. Come on, Sammy Hagar, no way. Eminem or Machine Gun Kelly?
I'm gonna go Eminem.
Thank God. All right, so if you had to pick West Coast rap or East Coast rap?
I don't know. I mean, I'm more East Coast, so I mean, I don't know who's who. Like, I'm a terrible person.
I'm gonna replace that one. Mount Rushmore or the Hoover Dam?
Oh, fuck Hoover Dam. And I heard your stupid ass thing. Listen, if we're gonna go on a fucking trip, it's gonna be to Mexico, not to Hoover Dam.
I only got like 5 followers off that. So we're not hitting 10K anytime soon.
Listen, I'll shout your ass out. You'll get 10K.
Oh my God. Epic. Okay, almost done. Little word association. First thing to come to mind. Ready? Milk.
Cookies.
Cocoa.
Hot.
Stuck shed.
Soak it.
Wearing a mask while driving.
Fuck you.
Oh my God. Mexican food or Tex-Mex?
Mexican food.
Thank God. All right, one has to go, Lori. This is it. Last one. One has to go forever. Instagram or Facebook?
Facebook. Fuck you.
That's it. High five. Good job, Lori. High five. High five.
Right.
Boom. That was epic. Fucking Lori, I knew this was gonna be amazing. And you know what? By the way, I hope you don't mind, but I got a lot of shit from Desiree and Steven because they're like, what the fuck? Because we do a podcast too, and they're super heated with me about this. So do you mind coming on Unfiltered with me at some point? Maybe you know.
I would do that.
All right, cool. Now I can show them this and they can relax. But
yeah.
Lori, thank you so much, man. I can't tell you. This is like honestly probably my favorite podcast I've done all year. I'm not joking.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And like I said, you know what? I'm glad to support you. I love you to death. And I hope this went good for you and not bad for you.
This is amazing. You kidding me? This is like fucking one of the best times I've ever had. No, this is like great. You don't understand. This is the most chill I've ever had. You know, and I'm relaxed during all my podcasts, but this right here, like I said, I've got to talk to you in person. We got to hang out. I know what kind of person you are, and this was great.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, man, I had a lot of love coming my way, knowing that I was bringing on the show. So people are watching this who support you. Do you have anything you want to say to them?
Well, I mean, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody that follows us and appreciates me because obviously I am not Brian. Believe me, I am not the face and the star that people say all the time that they want to see. And that's fine because that's not who I want to be. So I'm good with that. But people who follow and hear what I have to say, that's awesome. And I hope it went good for you.
Tell Brian I said thanks for, not hearing us, but he heard us. You know what I mean? Tonight? And
No, I'm actually shocked that he did not come on.
yeah, you know what? Because this is the Lori show, and I appreciate that. You know, he probably he's like, you know, for once, he's like, you know what? I'm not gonna damper over Lori's fucking
Yeah, I guess so.
show.
I guess
I'm
so.
talking. All right, Lori. Merry Christmas.
Thanks.
Happy New Year if I don't talk to you, but I'll say Happy New Year before that. And
Yeah.
so, thank you so much.
Yeah. Merry Christmas to you too. Hope you have a great one.
Have a good night. Okay. Talk to you
too.
soon. Bye-bye. Woo! Lori Barczyk in the books. Man, that was amazing. Shout out to everyone who was tuned in, man. The energy was great tonight. And man, Merry Christmas, guys. I hope you guys appreciate this. Man, I'm just telling you guys that I don't know, man. We've had a great year with all the podcasts that I've done this year, but this right here, super special. Definitely give Merry Christmas to myself. I feel like because I gifted myself an amazing podcast that I could always have, always go back to. And yeah, I knew this shit was going to be great. So thanks to everyone who tapped in, everyone who was there. Do your boy a favor, get me to 10K. All right. I appreciate it. All I want for Christmas is to swipe up. That's it. All right. mjexoticscartal, an A, not an E. Follow your boy. Follow Trap Talk with MJ page. Make sure you're following that and getting ready for any kind of updates that I put on that. And then also, if it's your first time tuning in, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. That would mean a lot. Hit the subscription bell button, hit the notification bell, drop a comment, like, dislike, some sort of reaction would be great. If you want to support this channel further than a subscription, join the Patreon family, man. The Patreon family is growing and it's cracking. We just had an amazing Sunday session for Christmas. The holiday fucking party was cracking. Who was there? Josh. How sick was that? Dylan, whoever was there. Dude, the holiday party was cracking, and it's always going to be cracking on Sundays. Shout out to Andrew Acevedo, who was, basically the guest of the holiday party and told us some really cool stories that he's never told anyone. Pretty shocking, but it was fucking awesome. I love me a taste of reality sometimes, and boy, did we get it on that Sunday. So if you guys want to get more involved, if you guys want to know what's really happening with this fucking trap shit, man, and know, what the future holds, go to the Patreon page. All right. Any support matters, and I fucking mean everything that I say. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you so much for giving me your time of day, spending your time here. Happy holidays. Be safe. God bless. Get ready for next week. All right, so mark your calendars right now. Next Tuesday, the New Year's episode, I'm bringing someone so fucking heavy, and I mean this on so many different levels of heavy, bro. Like controversial heavy, fucking popularity heavy, badass heavy. Like there's a lot of different avenues of heaviness with this fucking guy, and I'm not fucking around. I'm ending 2020 with such a bang. It's it. I'm telling you, man, because guess what? This is the coolest reptile podcast in the motherfucking world. This is it. I got to back it up. I could say it and I could back it up. Not one person's even come to me saying, well, you call it that. Right. Don't waste my time. All right. You guys are amazing. Beautiful. God bless. And get ready for next week, Tuesday.